systemic change means, again, addressing many different problems at the same time at many different levels, right? So when you talk about Kaufman's OEM model, mega, macro, micro, how are you supposed to influence change that's consistently deliverable if you don't address them at all three levels? Because if you try to address it at the organizational level without dealing with the policy level, then most likely it's not going to happen. And if you try to address them at those two levels without the resources, it's not going to happen either. So that's systemic change. Most other, to be facetious, the flavor of the month, those bring about, they bring about and can control conditions or singular or multiple classrooms with specific types of learners, some degree of educational improvement. But how are you going to generalize that, right? You don't have control over principles and a lot of the other things that are involved. That's why systemic change is so critical, and that's why everything else that doesn't address from a holistic standpoint is not systemic change. So Charlie, paradigm shift, just to speak to that really quickly, I believe that systemic change is not, can be defined, things can be defined as systemic change that are not dealing with paradigm shift yet. So in my research, the term mutual adaptation is something that I like to throw out there because I'm a big believer that change occurs slowly, and that if you try to go for the home run right off the bat, you're probably going to strike out, right? And so you've got to work towards that. So I'm all about the concept of planting seeds, right? So what I like about the concept of mutual adaptation is you start slowly introducing the concepts of systemic change, and I'm a big believer in working from within. So if you want to make change happen, you got to get in there first, start planting the seed a little bit, and certainly from my business and management background, things are successful when people adopt them as their own, right? And I know we had talked about this, but in a very, and I guess maybe I ran for school board, San Francisco school board, a long time ago, and that was one of the things I learned about that, is that if you articulate great ideas, what you really want is other people to adopt them as their own, because usually it's not going to happen otherwise.